Hello, my name is Precious Onyewuchi, and this is my application for the SSI Fellowship. I have a background in computer science, and I recently got an MBA this year on artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. I've built an experience in education, technical writing, community building, and advocacy. Basically, I teach and share knowledge on topics that are really important. I have a podcast on open source where I educate my audience on different parts of open source. So basically, I do yapping for a living, like the Gen Z would say. I have an opportunity to serve in certain communities that have been really instrumental in my growth. I lead the local GDG chapter for my state, and I have participated in open source and open science communities like the Turing Way, the Chaos Community, Data Science Without Borders, and OLS. My topic for the SSI Fellowship is on building open and reproducible AI practices. And I'll give like a breather into why. So the current state of things is a widespread use of AI, at least in the generative sense of it, where you submit a prompt and you get a response generated for you, maybe as text, as image, as an audio, as a video, depending on the medium that you want. We see legislators and policymakers trying to figure out how to adjust to these new changes. We see reports on bias in data sets and then more advocacy for diversity in these data sets, education more on the application of AI and less on the ethics with some form of education that is coming out. And then we have open source initiative that has defined open source AI as having the four freedoms, which is use, share, study, and distribute. My application studies on highlights the study part of the four freedom and through like education and accessibility to enable researchers to learn about the use of AI, ethics, and its complications. So you're finding out what is behind this tool and not just the how do we use this tool. So then there's like the build, practice, and implement the open and reproducible AI actions, try to bridge the gap between software, open source, and AI education, and then share with larger communities so they can be able to implement them. Throughout the fellowship, my objectives are to build and document, to engage and share knowledge, and I can measure this by my final output, which would require me to have published reusable guides, templates, and training materials on reproducible AI ethics workflow, and then have hosted these tools and materials publicly on GitHub with Zenodo. My timeline has been detailed below, and it's for the 15 months divided into five different sections. My budget justification covers conferences that I might be able to attend, maybe one or two. I almost likely optimize for more virtual conferences, and organizing workshops, training materials, documentation, and tool support, all that future related costs, which would factor in my personal development because I acknowledge I have limited knowledge as much as might require me to do really, really good work. So I expect to keep growing throughout the phase of the fellowship. I'm applying to the SSI fellowship because I attended the collaborations workshop last year and it was really amazing to see the amount of thought and consideration that is given into software, creating sustainable software, ensuring diversity, ensuring equity, ensuring inclusion, which is something that the SSI mentions that they give thought to. So seeing that in action was really amazing. I loved the discussion rooms where we spoke about enabling technology for low resource settings. And as somebody from the global south, it's a very interesting topic that is personal to me. So basically learning about these considerations and giving ideas of how to improve participation from my part of the world was really cool to be a part of. I like this quote from the website that says, "We see that there must be reward and recognition for research software engineers, the people who contribute to research by developing software. Finally, we argue that good software practices create better software, and that better software improves the reproducibility and reusability of research." I'm applying to the SSI fellowship because they actually care. And ethics and best practices are not just buzzwords. You can see it in the action. And then as an international applicant, my work contributes case studies and perspective on global context that UK researchers can adapt to improve reproducibility under varied constraints such as limited infrastructure and diverse data environments by connecting UK research software communities with international works in open science, data science, and health. I aim to foster cross-cultural collaboration and shared learning. This engagement benefits the UK research culture by promoting inclusive, ethical, and reproducible AI practices that ensure global representation in research methods and data sets. Ultimately, it strengthens the UK's leadership in research software by embedding global awareness, equity, and sustainability into reproducible AI frameworks. Thank you so much for considering my application. And if you would like to read my recap from this collaboration workshop, I have links that below. Thank you.